Welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Reality, joined by psychic medium Liz Cross. Liz, what's going on?
Well, I have Bonnie standing here smoking, and Clyde is also here. That's
Keep
what's
thinking we've
going.
done this and talked to them, but I don't think we ever have. I checked, so if we have done it again, I apologize. But I'm just curious to know. I saw a Chuck Norris episode a while back where it was they had a Bonnie and Clyde, duo that were trying to pretend to be them. So what are they dressed as, and are they both incarnated now, or are they still in the afterlife?
Are you both incarnated now? They're both here now. Yes. All right, so you chose to come back. Yes, and they're together and they're very glamorous.
Okay, whereabouts are they?
Whereabouts are you? Are you in the US? Maine.
Do they know of their past notoriousness?
Do you know if you're past? No, they have no idea.
Wow. So, what was the sole purpose behind you guys incarnating during the Great Depression and going on your robbing spree?
The sole purpose was a sense of adventure. They thought they were untouchable. They were fearless. I'm getting very much it was like fun to them. It was hilarious. It was recklessness and just pure adventure.
Did they have any mental illnesses when they came down as Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow?
Hmm. Did you have any mental illnesses? Several. That's what they said, but they were like, that's what made us so fun and daring. So they're talking about a mental illness where you have no fear. You don't
Okay.
have any concept of fear. You don't have any concept of empathy. They didn't feel sorry for the people that were being hurt or harmed. They were absolutely fearless.
Like,
And they're together again.
was it a mutual decision, or was one of them more like, hey, I got an idea, let's go rob some banks?
Was it? No, it was Clyde's idea. She was just along for the ride. She thought it was fun. And then she would start, creating places and she liked to dupe people into scenarios, is what I'm getting. Like she was kind of the decoy.
And he said it was his idea, or then I think they killed at least 13 people between
Did they?
1932 and 34. So at least, did they, what was the soul contract like with those 13 people?
Oh my God, I didn't know they killed 13 people. Yeah, they did. They killed more than that. Wow. I didn't know that. I don't know a lot about them, which is great from a remote viewing standpoint and a channeling standpoint.
Like, do you say that up there? Hey, let's go down next time and I'll kill you and then it'll be fun. Like, how do you bridge that? Do you tell the person you're going to kill them before you come down, all those 20 law enforcement officials or however many people they killed?
They agreed to it. So they had a list of people or souls that were karmically indebted to them. And they basically, this is what's going to happen. And the souls agreed to sign up for it. Hmm.
So, was it payment from a previous killing of them in some cases? Not all the cases, I imagine, because I imagine they're making new soul contracts, but were some of the killings justified because they killed them? And again, this karmic system is a whole messed up system. We'll get into that in another video, but
Yeah. It's a booby trap. It's like the universal trap, right? You can't escape karma. Can you escape karma? No, no, you can't. Okay. So was this like retribution for when you were hurt in a past life from these people? Yeah. So they were from the wild, wild west in a previous lifetime where women were treated very badly and there were shootouts. Um, yes, so a lot of this was was from that era.
Okay. And they're in like 1910 to 1934 is when they were around. So then their previous lifetime back whenever they were in lots of gunfights. Um, how many people did they make a new contract or soul contract with when they were in that lifetime as Bonnie and Clyde? And how many of those are going to come up in this time, good or
So,
bad?
new people did you make a contract with? Oh, hundreds, hundreds of new people. Everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. Like, yeah, you shoot me, I'll shoot you, and you rob me, and I rob. Yeah, totally. They agreed to go on this crime spree, and they agreed to cause a lot of pain and heartbreak for a lot of people. And how many of those are now present in your current lifetime? Quite a few of them.
Was there a fork in the road where things could have gone okay for Bonnie and Clyde?
No.
That's a bummer. I guess you're predestined then. How much free will did they have in their lifetime?
How much free will did? None. No free will. Um, so when you asked about the fork in the road, this was an addiction for them. This was compulsive behavior. They loved it. They got a high out of this, robbing people, outrunning the police, hiding from people. Like it was like a full-time, almost drug-like induced high.
Let's ask Clyde, how much did he steal in valuables during his lifetime with Bonnie?
How much did you steal? How thousands and thousands, and how many value jewelry, watch it, like everything, shoes, clothes. They would steal anything that wasn't nailed down.
And so on a soul level, what number of incarnation was this for them as Bonnie and Clyde?
As
Each of
Bonnie
them.
and Clyde. What incarnation? So they're firmly joined together, right? They've been together for a very, very, very long time on the soul level. They're together now. They're married, they have children. They're living a very clean life now. So what how many would you say the number is for you, Bonnie? In the 200s, and he's about the same. They found each other early, and they do everything together.
And they tell us about some past incarnations that they had together and what happened then. Were some of the other ones notorious?
Ooh, some past incarnations. They usually have children in their past lives. They've gone through a lot of poverty, a lot of tragedy. But they're always together. They're always like married, or, back then people didn't get married, but they were selected for one another. They were always, always together. These two were inseparable, even in the tribal lifetimes. Absolutely inseparable.
How much karmic debt do they have from all their 200 lifetimes together, some as Bonnie and Clyde and others? And how do they measure that debt?
How much karmic debt? Well, they racked up a lot from this lifetime as Bonnie and Clyde, that's for sure. They racked up a ton of karmic debt.
Like a ton, is that 2,000 pounds, or how do we quantify karmic? I'm still trying to understand what that weight structure is for karmic debt and how it's measured from us down here mathematically.
Okay, so she says it's like a list. And I'm saying, is it like a bank? Is it like a weighted bank? Not, I mean, not really. It's like a list of karmic debt. But is it weighted? It's very heavy. So if we were to measure it in terms of like pounds, what would it weigh? She says that's not the accurate way to measure it. Okay, but she's saying how far does that karmic, that negative karmic debt, how far it stretches into the dark is what she's saying. It's like a hole, and how far back does it go?
What's Bonnie's idea of what the dark truly is from her soul perspective?
What is the dark to you from your soul perspective? She says the dark is to keep you humble. The dark is to keep you kind. This is her perspective. The dark is to make you express gratitude. She believes that there's a lot of light that comes out of the darkness. The dark makes you forgive. It makes you forget. It makes you she turns everything into a positive, which is
I feel like I'm
quite
in Bizarro
shocking.
land. Yeah.
I know. It's quite shocking because they created so much negativity as Bonnie and Clyde, but those were the lessons that were created when they were Bonnie and Clyde. They taught a lot of people a lot of things. And people can either, turn to the dark and keep feeding the dark, she says, or they turn to the light from the dark experiences. And the whole thing for Bonnie and Clyde was the overarching idea was to make people turn to the light.
I can't understand that. It seems backwards to me. But I'm not an outlaw, so I guess I don't understand the outlaw mentality. How much of their crime spree was fueled by what the media was telling about them versus them just wanting to do it? Like, were they fascinated by their own success and like, oh, we have to do more?
Um, They just did it. I mean, they just enjoyed what they did. Were you fascinated by your own success? I mean, at times. But don't forget, when I just gave you that whole turn to the light from the darkness experience or from the dark, that was her soul's purpose for being Bonnie in that lifetime. That wasn't a conscious mind, I'm an outlaw. I'm enjoying bringing darkness to people. The lessons underneath that from a soul perspective was I'm going to take on all this negative karmic debt in order to bring all these experiences into a lot of people so that they can eventually find their way and turn to the light.
There's rumors and legends that you were pregnant at the time of your death, but the autopsy report says no. Can you confirm or deny whether or not you were pregnant when you were murdered?
Were you pregnant? No, she was not pregnant.
Were they trying to have kids, or did they think maybe it's not such a good idea?
Were you trying to have kids? Oh, yeah, they were definitely trying to have children.
Did they see how badly it would end for them? I mean, or did they think, oh, we'll just retire to Costa Rica?
No, they had no concept of danger or meeting a bad ending. That's where the mental illness comes in. It's this no concept of this may go wrong.
Has mental illness plagued them in previous lifetimes?
Mental illness, breakdown, and previously. Depression, yes.
Is that something you can say, I don't want to have that the next lifetime? Or is it in your soul and you're unable to kind of make amends for it when you're up there?
Is this something that you have to, yeah, I mean, it's something you have to resolve as much as you possibly can in each lifetime, or it keeps coming back until you finally resolve it.
Do they ever haunt their present incarnations and tell them sweet nothings in their ear, like, go steal something?
Ooh, did you ever No. Did you ever have any inclination? So You here on the earth plane now in Maine with your children, did you ever run across Bonnie and Clyde? Oh, yeah, several times. And did you ever think that that was possibly you or that you had a connection to your former self? No, no, they lived such a clean life.
No feelings, no gut feelings, no, oh, that's so wrong. I mean, what is your sense when you look back on a life you don't know you had?
What is your sense when you look back on a life that you don't know you had? Well, some people can connect to feeling like, oh, I really resonate with that person. I must have been them or very closely aligned to that person. Um, but no, when she looks at pictures of Bonnie and Clyde, there's no feelings there whatsoever. And he doesn't have feelings about his former self either.
How are the Maine Bonnie and Clyde doing financially?
How are you doing financially now? They struggle, but they're okay. But they look very glamorous. Like I'm saying, you say you struggle, but you're presenting yourselves like very glamorous. I mean, they do quite well. Um, but life is a struggle. Their kids are expensive.
Where's the karmic justice?
What is the karmic justice for? So in this lifetime, Bonnie now is actually going to end up getting killed, and the husband and the kids will have to live without her.
Will that be justice? And how long ahead down the calendar is this?
How long until this happens? In a couple of years, it's going to be like an indiscriminate killing, a robbery gone wrong. Just happened to be the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what's going to happen to her. And is it just, I mean, she believes it's justice because now the whole entire family are going to have to try to get on without her. And it's very difficult for all of them. I feel that the children are quite young. How many children? There's three or four of them.
What made the decision up above on the God plane to say, hey, let's be notorious outlaws in the next lifetime? Like, how far back did the pre-planning start?
Ooh, how far back did that planning start? Just the lifetime before Bonnie and Clyde, like the in between, you know? Um, who gave you that idea? No, they came up with it. They came up with it. It was their turn to bring about trauma and darkness and unfair circumstances, suffering to others. So it was their turn. Do we all have that? Yes, we do. We all seem to have a lifetime or two where we have to play that part. Not
So,
necessarily in the way that they did.
yeah, right. You take this to the planning commission and they're like, yeah, yeah, that checks out. Sure, sounds good. Like, who is in charge of saying that that was a good idea?
Who was in charge of saying that that was a good idea? I don't think they really had much of a choice. It was here's what you have to do, and you have to come up with a strategy of how to do it.
Who told them that?
Who told you that? The hierarchy,
And
the
who's in the
board.
hierarchy?
It's like the board. There's some, a bunch of spirits sitting around, or souls rather, sitting around the board, and they make executive decisions. They had to, it's like they were given, it was passed down to them through the hierarchy.
How many board members are there? Can they be voted out? Can they be usurped?
Ooh, how many board members are there? There's about 50. And can they be voted out? No, they were appointed by source.
And are they operating geographically or globally?
Do you operate No, globally.
What's the most vexing thing that the Board of Planning Commission for Lifetimes is struggling with or grappling with now?
What is the most vexing thing that you're? struggling with right now. Evolution, how to plan and to expand and to weed out and which species, animal species are going to get the chop, the axe. So are they in charge of evolutionary ideas? I mean, they are.
Has it always been the same 50, or do they take tenure? Do they take positions? Are there election processes, or
Hmm. Is it always the same 50? No, because some of them graduate into higher levels. And and then who is appointed, or is there an election? No, it's source appoints who goes into the position.
can humans be on the board?
Can humans be? There's a few humans, yes.
A few out of 50. I can tell they're probably always outvoted. That's a terrible. No, you're outvoted. Um, did they always plan to have violent deaths? And at that time, at that moment, was how much was predetermined before they came down?
Did you always plan to have violent deaths as Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah, that's the way they wanted to go. And was that predetermined? Oh, yeah, absolutely predetermined.
Let's ask Clyde what his greatest regret was in that lifetime.
What was your greatest regret in that lifetime? Not having, what? Not having what? Something to do with his mother. What do you mean, something to do with your mother? Not having a good relationship with his mother.
How about Bonnie?
What was your greatest regret? I feel that she was neglected or abandoned, is what I'm getting. Pretty much like nobody really bothered with her. And that was her greatest regret. Like she wished she would have made that different and felt some love. I mean, even with Bonnie and Clyde together, it was so reckless. It wasn't love.
Okay. Like from a 10,000 foot perspective, what does society's continual 100 years later fascination with their journey say about us as a society?
Hmm. What does that say about us as a society? That we glamorize the negatives, that the positives are boring, that we like adventure, we like excitement. We're all looking for that high, that rush. We're looking for a story that's interesting and a story that needs to be told. We like the boldness. We like the courage that they had. And a lot of us wish that if we could get away with that kind of adventure, we would.
Right.
Do you think you'd get away with that now? No, not in a million years. No.
Yeah. I wasn't going to ask them what their suggestions are for other people out there listening that want to also become dangerous, notorious criminals, because I don't think that wouldn't be wise. Don't do that. Let's say if you're thinking about it, seek help.
Yeah, you're so funny. Let's ask this. Do you believe that criminals have it more difficult nowadays? Oh, extremely difficult. You can't get away with anything nowadays. You can't even steal anything in the store. They used to go in to
Depends
places
on the
and they
state,
would
obviously. If you're in California, everything's free. But
but they used to go into like stores and just take what they wanted and they would hold people up at gunpoint and just steal. If they were hungry, they stole it. If they wanted, gas for their car, they took it. If they wanted a car, they took like they just did whatever they want. You can't do that today.
right, don't do
So
that.
from Bonnie's perspective, like crime is boring. The only fun part, according to her, of crime. certainly the level of crime that they committed. The only fun part was knowing that you could get away with it.
Well, crime never pays in the end. Thanks,
No.
Bonnie. Thanks, Clyde. I hope you guys have fun in Maine, and I'm sorry about your upcoming death.
Yeah. Yeah, this was interesting too. I mean, we get a lot of requests for Bonnie and Clyde.
Thanks, everybody. If you're not following us, please go to Liz at Consciousness Transformation 765 for the backup channel and free healing there at the Consciousness Transformation Technique. You can listen to those, and they're excellent resources. So if you're not there, please go check them out. Thanks, Liz.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Reality has a tip jar listed down below. Thanks for this probe.